While calls for a crackdown on fraud have come from all sides, some Northland Republican lawmakers and health service providers are now claiming the fraud crackdown is causing even more harm.
At Northern News Now, Sophia Lauber heard from providers today who say they've been wrongly cut off from funding. Sophia, how did this happen exactly?
Dan, Laura, back in January, the Trump administration threatened to withhold $2 billion in Medicaid funding from Minnesota if the state didn't address fraud, specifically by screening providers deemed high risk for fraud. Minnesota was able to meet that screen deadline of May 31st, but some providers and a Northland lawmaker are calling that a massive failure, as the process has barred many legitimate providers from receiving Medicaid funds.
Vincent Sweedman's mother relies on Northern Access Transportation. One of the providers recently cut off from Medicaid billing.
For the past 3 rides to dialysis, she's had to pay out of pocket, and we could probably do that maybe 2 or 3 times more max.
Of the nearly 5,600 providers that were deemed high risk in the state and reviewed by the Minnesota Department of Human Services, over 60% were disenrolled, which means they can no longer bill for Medicaid services. The majority were removed due to incomplete or inaccurate administrative data.
I think it's ridiculous that they just straight up cut everyone off, all these providers, and didn't they see this coming? Like, what are people supposed to do?
Representative Natalie Zlesnikar also criticizes DHS for halting billing completely, claiming minor spelling errors have led to the termination of legitimate providers.
And that might sound good, but the people that were fraudulent, whoever's in that 3,300 that were the fraudsters, they're just not going to bill anymore. But they already made out with millions.
DHS says they completed the review process in 5 months at the federal government's request, while other states are given 2 years. But Zalesnikar criticizes the Walz administration for not moving sooner and the DHS for the botched review process.
And there's been so much turnover in the commissioner and in the division that there's chaos. And leadership starts at the top.
Providers have 60 days to appeal their disenrollment, leaving them unable to bill for Medicaid as they wait for answers.
You'll die if you don't get dialysis, if you're on it. And it's just, we don't know what we're going to do. We're gonna have to go to the hospital.
With thousands of providers potentially appealing, many are questioning how long that process will now take. DHS says providers whose appeals are rejected won't be able to apply to re-enroll due to current moratoriums on licensing for high-risk services. Live in studio, Sophia Lauber, Northern News Now.